Hello everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm VR Stuntman and I'm going to be bringing you round 5 of the GT300 League at vrroom.org, and we're just going to run you through the grid here, and as you can see we have Stuntman on the pole. Second on the grid in only his second race in this league is Malada. He's going to be a threat in the future. Then we've got Rayman there, and swinging through that would be Hatcher, who's done a good job. This is Danny, who's swapped to the MRS for this track, and then rolling down the grid that's Rick, and so on down, and right at the back we can see Scalebreaker, who has been banished to the Nissan Silvia. And the reason for that is that he's just been too good and won too many races, and he has to be punished. Right, so let's get on with the racing. So, good start there from Stuntman, and Malada slightly slow away. I tell you who's got a great start. That's Hatcher in the Autobacks. Garaya. He's trying to go around the outside of Malada. We got Rayman up to second, and that's the move done by Hatcher. So good start by him. Everyone else more or less in formation. Scalebreaker has gained a place at the expense of Scouser, and everyone filing through the S's. There's no real overtaking here. Suzuka is a wonderful racetrack, but there's no overtaking opportunities for a bit. And flying through, oh, there's someone off there. That was Slicker, I think. Yeah, Slicker rejoining. Oh, it all got very messy. Oh, and there's another car off. Turner's got big damage. Big damage to engine and rear right wheel. So he's probably going to be in the pits. So Breaker is up to 7th, and here he is dicing hard with that would be his Scouser. A real rumble from that Nissan. It's got the same power as all the other cars, and its torque is good, but it's heavy, and it just doesn't seem to have the grip. So Scouser moves ahead of Breaker. Nice two abreast racing from them, but in the lead is Stuntman. Will go on his rear camera, and whoa, that's Hatcher going off. Doesn't lose any time though. There's a tarmac runoff there at 130R. Whoa, big sideways from Rayman. So it's the two Voodoo racing cars in the lead. It's Stuntman and Rayman. Hatcher 3rd, Malada 4th. Then we've got Danny, Rick, Scalebreaker, Scouser, Slicker and Turner into lap 2, and we've got Malada trying to make a move. Oh, and Hatcher's gone off. Let's ride on board with him. Oh, he's taking him ages to get back on track. Oh, and here come more cars. Oh, big wobble behind us from Scalebreaker. Meanwhile, Turner, has he gone in the pits? Here he comes into the pits, or is he coming out? No, I think he's come out the pits. He's fixed his car, but he's a long way behind. We're back on board Stuntman, so we've now got the RX-7s of Rayman and Malada 2nd and 3rd behind us. Stuntman starting to ease away, perhaps. Then Rick is in 5th, and there's quite a gap to Scouser. This is all on board Scouser's view. Oh no, that was Hatcher again into the gravel and into the wall. Let's see if he's done any damage to that car. He's got damage to the front left and the rear right, but it is drivable like that. It's just going to be a little tricky. So we'll go back on board with Scouser. In the mirror there you can see the Silvia of Scalebreaker, That's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? And Scouser seems to have got the better of that little battle. So go back on board with Rayman, and Rayman's been towing up behind Stuntman. Close that gap up through the Casio chicane there, onto the start-finish straight past the Ferris wheel. And further back, this is on board with Danny. Now Danny's going much better in the MRS than he was in the Subaru in the previous race. The MRS definitely a more competitive car under these rules. Oh, and a mistake ahead of us from Malada, so Danny now absolutely on the bumper of Malada. Oh, a little bit of a rub. Swap to the roof cam. Can't see much of the nose of the MRS on the roof cam because it's so short. And these two are starting to drop away slightly from the two leaders. Then in behind us in 5th place, and a slightly lonely 5th is Rick. Oh, some dust up ahead. That was Rayman going wide, but he's launching an attack. This is on board with Stuntman. Rayman is trying to go around the outside. Swaps the outside view, and there they are, two abreast through the hairpin, and it's Rayman now just in front. This is a long sweeping right-hander, and Stuntman is on the outside of it. There's a longer way to go, and that drops him behind. And Rayman takes the lead through Spoon. I'll go on board with Stuntman, and got a slightly better exit and a slightly higher straight line speed as well for Stuntman, and he goes back past. This is Rayman's view, and Rayman only led for a couple of corners. And now looking at the rear view from Rayman, we can see that Malada has closed right in, and Danny's disappeared a bit. He's still in 4th place, but he's lost some time, so Danny dropped off the lead pack, but good to see him running with the front runners. Let's see how Scalebreaker's getting on. Oh, hang on, we'll just stay with this a little bit longer, because is there going to be a move into turn 1? No. But the three leaders now very close together, Stuntman, Rayman and Malada. This is Scalebreaker. Oh, he's in the pits. Can't see any damage on the car. Maybe he's going to retire or something. Hope not, but he might just be fed up of going so slowly. So this is Scouser now on his own. It could be that Scalebreaker's got some damage I can't see. But the field slightly spread out now. It's the big battle is the battle for the lead, and this is it. Through the first Degner into the second Degner. Great curves for Degner curves. First one is a very short, fast curve, but you've got to get it right. You've got to carry as much speed as you can. But if you go off, it's a disaster, because you're in gravel, and by the time you get out of the gravel, you're driving too fast to make second Degner, and often you go straight off into the wall. So let's hope no one does that. So Malada just dropping off the front two again. We'll go on board Rayman, and Rayman is in a lovely position. Can he use the tow? We know the RX isn't quite as fast as the RS in a straight line, but the tow, he's gonna be very close when each 130 are. And we'll be done by those two. Good racing. And to the Casio chicane now. Both of these drivers will be desperate to win. The fact that Scalebreaker is in the Nissan means there's a chance for someone else to got glory once. I've noticed we've only got 9 cars now, so we've lost someone. I'll have a think and see if I can work out who that is. Oh, a spinner! That's Rayman.
and he's deep in the gravel out there. And look, that's the going past. Rick is going past now, and he makes it on the track, and we can see in the background Sir and Slicker closing in, and of course Rayman dirty tyres, and he has to scout through, so he goes second to sixth, and even Stuntman a bit of a lead. He's almost away, but I think Malada will be in the slipstream. Yeah, there's only less than a half between them, so the battle isn't over yet. If Malada can see Stuntman's ring, his down now, is up to 4, and then the next car has got behind the first, and yeah, for the lap, enough. Comes Rayman. Back. Oh, a lot of points for 8th place at this rate. Anyway, on board with the leaders, because that we've got a change for the lead, and it's Milada in front.
Half a lap to go. They're coming up to the hairpin. Stuntman going round the outside at the hairpin. Oh, huge sideways moment. And Milada is hanging on now. Milada is vulnerable on the back straight. Oh, he's vulnerable here as well. He's having to take the defensive line, giving Stuntman the short line, and Stunt goes through, and through Spoon for the last time, and Stunt just has half a second, maybe slightly less, and I don't think Milada is going to get enough of a slipstream. Further back, we've got a battle going on here between Rick and Danny. Here comes Rick. They're coming down the back straight, but Rick Salika isn't all that fast. He must be running a lot of downforce, but he is up against an MRS, and Rick doesn't quite make the move stick. So this is on board, looking at Milada. He and Stuntman are about to cross the finishing line, and it's a win for Stunt. Second for Milada. Now this is Danny and Rick. They're going to come across third and fourth. Another close finish between those two. And this is Scouser up to fifth again, ahead of Slicker. And another close finish. So next is Turner. Turner's had a bit of a lonely race. He's running in seventh. He's got a little damage on the front left. Quite a lot of damage on the right rear, but sorry not to feature you very much, Turner, but it was a lonely old race for you. But he does have the pleasure of beating Scalebreaker. So we're going to have a look at the fastest laps, and if I swing the camera so that you can see them. So fastest lap was a 2:07.4 to Stuntman, 2:07.5 for Milada. Unfortunately, I can't see the fastest laps for the people who've dropped out. But next fastest was Danny, 2:08. Then Rick and Slicker, both 2:08s, almost identical lap times. And everyone else in the 2:09s, and Breaker in the 2:10s. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed that race. If you have, please subscribe to my channel and tune in for the next race, which will be coming to you very soon.